Airsoft. Nothing beats being with friends in an environment you love, working as a team to sling BBs against whoever stands in your way, day or night. Game styles like the Tier 1 events from Third Coast Airsoft have made night games even more popular than ever. Although you don't need anything extra for these night games, you know deep down that you need an NVG unit, or else you'll be that guy with a flashlight always getting yelled at.
Hey, turn up the light!
If you're like me, you love videotaping your airsoft games. Now, I usually run with a camera mounted on my helmet like this. It's great for the day, but as soon as that night comes, this is no good. This is where the Psyonix Aurora comes in. It's an ultra low light camera that we've, through some ingenuity and some trial and error, have made it work for airsoft. Now we're going to go through what I have for my helmet setup and what my camera settings are. And they're a good starting point for you. So give it a try. Let's get started. There are many videos about NVG setups, helmet selections, dovetail versus bayonet mount setups, and so on and so on. Take the time, do your research. Starting off, I run with an FMA EXF bump helmet. It's a great helmet. There are many others on the market. Real steel helmets will work also, and they're next on my shopping list. I've been using a replica G24 dovetail mount for over a year now. I've had to do a few tweaks to it, but it has not let me down. I prefer the dovetail mount because it keeps the camera horizontal. I find the dovetail also more stable. You can find real steel mounts and replica mounts online. You'll also need an actual dovetail piece and the adapter to fasten the camera to the mount. Lions Gear Solutions makes a host of adapters and dovetails. This is the Hyperion, and this is the Macho. He also has a mount called the Fast. They just screw into these 1/4-20 threaded holes on the bottom. Calhoun on Etsy.com makes a bridge mount. Here it is here. Lastly, protecting your Psyonix from a BB hit is a must. This is the Aspis from Lions Gear Solutions. It slips on perfectly. That's all you need. Again, there are many out there. Check out Calhoun also on Etsy. He has a few. Counterweights will keep your helmet balanced. You want something you can adjust, especially if this is your first time. I prefer the bars, like this one. Now some night games can run 3 to 4 hours, or it might run all night. I would suggest purchasing a 13,000 mAh battery. Here's one from Anker. It'll last at least 17 hours. I would then buy either a replica or a real MK2 style battery case or a helmet cover that has a pouch built in. There might even be some older Milsim West pouches also on the market. They work great. You'll need a lanyard to keep your gear on if you knock it off. There are many manufactured lanyards out there, but my favorite is from Steve Tom from Dark Horse 6. They just used a simple fishing leader line and a Night Eyes S-Biner micro lock, the real small ones, and a key ring. Super simple. The last thing I do is I usually pop off the eyepiece. Just like that. Now put it all together. Adjust your mount first by adjusting it up and down. Do this while the camera is on too, that way you can see the image. Then adjust it, the tilt right here. And lastly, you can adjust the camera, bringing it in as close as you can to get the best field of view possible. And that's it. We're done. Now, With the helmet strapped on, do a head shake. Go up and down, side to side, make sure it's nice and tight. On our Facebook page, Airsoft Psionics Users Group, many airsofters who are just starting out with a monocular setup using an Aurora often complain about headaches, dizziness, and feeling sick. Well, there are a few main reasons for this. Even with an analog monocular setup, like a PVS-14, some people will get a headache at first. Your pupil of your aided eye is being constricted because of the light it is receiving from the unit. Your unassisted eye is dilated because it's trying to see in the dark. Your brain is often trying to make your two eyes the same, and this causes a lot of strain on your brain and eye muscles, often leading to headaches. We can reduce this slightly by reducing the brightness of our unit, and we'll go into those settings in a minute. Having the wrong zoom setting on your camera while using it as a helmet-mounted monocular can have a huge effect on your brain and can cause headaches too. I usually press the zoom button about 3 times and then test it by switching to day mode and then focus on an object, like this water container. I move my head slowly from side to side and focus on the object. If everything is correct, it should float seamlessly on and off the screen from the camera to your naked eye. Alright, we got our helmet set up. Now it's time to set up the camera. Now the settings I use, they're just a starting point for you. They're going to work for your sport, they're going to work for your black tactical, and they're going to work for your original Aurora that had the GPS unit in it. Now this one I had painted by Roscoe Coating in his new erosion pattern. Really got to check it out. So on a regular Aurora, we're going to dial over to the options like this. And we'll press the set button once and we'll look down the viewer. We'll go down to chimes. We'll set this off using the set button. Go down to audio, switch it to medium, Wi-Fi, off. We'll go back to the camera side and we'll switch it to video. And we'll quickly press the set button once. EIS, we're going to turn off. Frame rate, I like to run it at 30 FPS. You can run it at 24 if you like, but I like 30. Resolution, 360p. You can record at 720p, but you'll get more out of 360. And HDR, turn that off. Now we'll hold the set button down for 3 seconds. We'll go over to brightness. Sometimes I'll have it on medium. Most of the time I'll just switch it to auto. Overlay, we'll switch that to off. EVF timeout, we'll switch that to never. Night glow, if it's super dark, you go to grayscale. I normally run it at night color. Quick review, I turn that off. And invert image, turn it on. Well, we're at the end of the video. We talked quite a bit about how I set up my helmet and how I set up my cameras. They are not written in stone. So try different settings, try different setups. It'll all depend on the AO that you're at, whether the moon is out, the stars are out, cloud cover, whether the AO has street lamps on, whether your buddy is running his white light. The whole point is to stay comfortable and have fun. Try adding some IR light with the white light, along with some IR lasers, red and green lasers too. The ultra low light capability of the camera and its color capability will really make those greens and reds pop in your video. So just remember, have fun with your buddies while you're killing it on the next AO. And I hope to see you guys soon. Take care.